Well, even though Coleus don't have showy flowers, it doesn't mean that they can't add some splash to the landscape. And here in our garden railway, we have several different types of Coleus planted. Now traditionally, a Coleus was something that you would put in the shade because it needed that protection from the sun. But now there are several cultivars out that are sun-loving, and that's what we have planted here. Now, in addition to having a lot of variation in the color, there's also a lot of textural variation among the Coleus. And down here at the bottom, we've got some of the shorter ones, and these are the Ducksfoot Coleus. Now, these have a smaller leaf that looks very similar to a duck's foot. The purple duck's foot is kind of an upright, shrubby growing Coleus, and it is a nice compact grower. Well, right next to it we have our trailing Ducksfoot Coleus, which actually does have a more trailing habit. Now these two look very nice planted together. You've got the same size of leaf, but you have a contrast in growing habit and also in the color. Well, if you look on up here, we've got some of the more large Coleus here with larger leaves, and they've got a nice frill around the edges. Now this one right here is called Freckles. This again is a Sun Coleus, and you'll notice here we have green dragon, and also the very nice plum looking one with the pink color is called Plum Parfait. And these are a nice group of Coleus that have the same leaf pattern but different colors. This is probably because they arose from spores of each other, and most of these Coleus are vegetatively propagated from spores. Now when I talk about a spore, if you look down here, you'll notice that we've got one here that looks a lot like that Plum Parfait. It's different than what's around it. But if you look on back down here at the base, you'll notice that this is actually on the same plant. These two here, this is actually a mutation. We've got a color mutation here. Now the way that you would propagate this would be to take this cutting here and root this plant, and then take more cuttings off of this and multiply it that way. Now Coleus lend itself to this type of propagation because they are so easy to root. You can basically sometimes let them fall on the greenhouse floor and they'll root for you. So they lend themselves to propagation and selection of color in this way. So that's what they mean when they talk about a sport of something. It's just a mutation on that plant, and then we can multiply that and get a whole nother Coleus. Now we've actually done this out here. We had our burgundy Sun Coleus, and we had a sport on that that has the nice yellow edge around it. And so we propagated that, and we have a very showy plant here now. Now this is the Alabama Coleus here in the back with a nice green and burgundy colors. And over on the far side we have a very nice ruffled green on the top and burgundy on the bottom Coleus. Now that has a totally different leaf, and it adds another variation of texture to our whole Coleus planting here. Well, you might want to watch your own Coleus and see if you get some sports, and take some cuttings of those and you can multiply those out. And also, if you're looking for some color for a sunny area, you can now use the Sun Coleus to fill in that spot. Well, now we're going to go take a look at some of the vegetables that we can plant for our fall vegetable garden.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.